Hey everyone, this is Rudy Rhodes, and today we're going to be talking about Edmodo. Edmodo is a learning management system, and what that means is really just a fancy way of saying it is a website you can use to organize your classroom resources and to communicate with your students both in and outside of the classroom. So, Edmodo is also a platform that KYE has been using for professional development courses, and a lot of instructors and participants seem to enjoy it, so we're going to try and do some new things with it going forward. So this video is going to give a basic overview. There's actually going to be two videos we have on Edmodo here. This one is going to be about account registration, creating a classroom, and joining groups. So, the first thing you'll see when you go to www.edmodo.com is asking for you to log in. And you can see up here is the little login area. So if you already have an account, you can just put in your email address or password and you're good to go. Now, if this is your first time at Edmodo, you're going to have to make an account. Making an account is really easy though. If you're a teacher, you're going to select a teacher account and you're going to enter your email address and your password and sign up with that big green button and you should be good to go. If you're a student, you click student, and it's going to ask the student for their group code. Now the group code is actually the classroom code. If a student enters this when signing up, it will automatically take them straight to the virtual classroom you've created. So we'll get more into group codes later. But it's also pretty straightforward for signing up for a student as well. They just have to put in their name up front. Teachers usually do that later with their accounts. So I'm going to log in with my Edmodo account. And your login is just your email address. Now, when you first get into your Edmodo home screen, you're going to see a few things. You have up at the top a house icon for home, a little book for your resource library, a search bar where you can search for groups and classes, people, or individual apps or programs, a bell for your alerts, and then a picture of yourself that you can add in. That is pretty much your menu that you can use to change your profile information, your settings, or even just log out of the website when you're finished. Now, probably the most important part of Edmodo is actually setting up a group. Your groups are always going to be on the left-hand side of the page. Now, groups are pretty much just a classroom. A group is actually how you're going to make an actual online classroom setting for your students. And you can see in my group list, we have a bunch of study circles that we did during the year 2014. Now, I have a lot of groups here, but if we scroll down, at the bottom of our group listing, we see a few handy options. First, it's create a group. So if we click that, that's obvious enough. That's how we're going to create a group. And so it even says bring your classroom to Edmodo. So we're actually just going to name our group whatever we like. I'm going to call this one practice group. Then you select a grade, and I'm going to select higher education. You can also select none or any other grade range you'd like. Subject area, I'm going to choose professional development because I'm making a PD video. Then subject, there's not really much for professional development, but I'm just going to pick all. Then we hit the big blue create button, and it makes our group. So, now we're in our practice group. And we'll see a couple important things here. Up in the top left-hand corner, we have the group code. And here we see the group code is K6BITI. So this group code is what students or other participants are going to use to actually join in your classroom. And this will put them in your discussions, have access to your quizzes and assignments, pretty much everything. So when we have a group, we'll see we have a few different options. we have posts, which a post, it's just like a Facebook post or a discussion post on any other web forum. It's a message you can send to everyone. And the most basic form is what's called a note. Now, all we have to do is where it says type your note here, we type our note. I'm just saying hello, and we'll see that it's automatically sending it to the default group we're already in, the practice group. And I'm just going to click send. And you can see down in group posts, it's going to have that message. Now, anyone else who's in the group, they can click reply and reply to the post. But when someone replies, a handy thing to keep noted is that replies, they just kind of go straight down in a stack. They're not nested replies like in most web forums, and they don't create individual threads. So we'll have more on that later. Likewise, we see we have other posting options like assignment, quiz, poll, and snapshot. We'll get more into these options in the next video. But for now, we're going to go to the next big heading, which is folders. And it says, obviously enough, you have no folders. Folders are just a place where you can add in resources. You can upload any documents you might want to share with your student, Word document, Excel spreadsheets, PowerPoint, images, whatever you'd like. You can also add in quizzes and other assignments that you'll create later. Here we're going to add folder by clicking the big blue button. And we have a list of folders I've created before, or I can go to new folder and name whatever I want. I'm just going to call it practice folder. And so now I have my practice folder, and if I click on that folder that was created, I can click the add to folder button, this big blue button, and I can add a link from a website, I can add something that's in my resource library, or I can just upload a file straight from my computer. That's usually the option you'll want to use if you're adding something to your folder. And lastly, up top, I have the members category. Members shows all the students that are currently enrolled in your group. And sadly, in this group, it's just me. But anytime you have students, this will give you a full list of everyone in your group so you can see who's receiving your messages. So those are the basics of creating a group and what a group does. Again, posts are your main way of communicating with your student. As an idea, there's lots of cool things you can do with this. You can post assignment reminders, you can post homework assignments, you can even post links to materials that are on other websites like YouTube, Google+, Hippocampus, EdReady, PBS Learning Media. Anything you want to share with your students, a really easy way to put a link is posting it right on Edmodo. So, another basic function you'll need to know about is if you don't need to create a group, you might be in a PD session or you might want to join in a group with your fellow instructors. And to do that, you're not going to create a group. You're going to go to join a group. So again, on the left-hand side, at the bottom of your list of courses and groups, you're going to have the join a group button. And if we click this button, it's going to ask for a group code. Now again, each group is going to have a code. Usually it's in the top right-hand corner of the screen. And you'll just type in your code, click join, and you'll automatically be enrolled in the group. Meaning you'll show up in that group's member list. But really, that's the basics for creating and joining your group on Edmodo. It's kind of user-friendly and pretty simple once you get in there and play around with it. So that's it for the basic Edmodo video. In the next video, we're going to be talking about some more distinct features such as creating assignments, quizzes, and some more advanced techniques for communicating with your students. So I hope this helps some folks understand what Edmodo is about. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment or email me. Thank you.